Hey now, cats, we're back again on a brand new episode of the Balls from Ellwood show. And with me today, I have a very special show. With me today, I have the cast of an upcoming film, Our Man Funk, which starts filming in April. Sitting here with me now, I have the legendary Bill Weeden. I have director, editor, and DP, AJ Cutler. I got producer Bryan, Alan Northrop, and a homie of mine, I have to say. And producer, actor, and super trim at Jazz, I'm sure you probably know, another homie I've been friends with for quite a while. But I want to say, first off, I got to thank all of you for being here. It's an honor to have you here. I can't wait to chat about this film. So let's just get right to it. Our Man Funk, can you cats tell me a little about what this film is about and what was the inspiration for writing this and the message of this film? Can you all tell me a little bit about that?
Yes.
Bill,
Uh,
how did yeah.
Okay, I can talk about how these things started. um, I made a film a couple of years ago, a few years ago now, with AJ, called "The Once and Future Smash," which you may have heard about. It's very good. It's,
It
it's
is
a,
very good.
a mockumentary about a slasher movie that was made in the '70s, and I people in it. Well, there was a screenshot of me in that movie. And this guy named Jack Russell, who you may have heard of, I don't know. He saw that screenshot. He said, "Look, that that looks like you would be perfect to take on some punks." And that was the last thing I'd ever thought about because I didn't think of myself as being an action hero of any sort. But he said, "Yeah, you look like you could take on a bunch of a gang of punks." I thought, well, that's interesting. I decided maybe I should give this a shot and try to work up a story about it. So I did. And I worked on it with Jack Russell and a guy named Frank Soma. And we came up with a screenplay. And then it sort of like was in limbo for a while. And then AJ Cutler came along and Bryan Northrop and Jazmyn Hanks. And now it's actually happening. Um, and my screenplay, the screenplay I wrote with those guys, has not been changed that much. It's pretty much the same story with a lot of enhancements, which were done by virtue of our marvelous director, AJ Cutler, who is just incredible.
so let me get this straight, Bill. You wrote the screenplay for Our Man Funk, is that right?
Yeah, well, I co-wrote it, but yeah, I basically wrote a lot of it. Yeah, yeah,
What was
and I wrote it myself.
what was the inspiration for this screenplay? Like, how did that come to fruition?
Well, as I said, it started because somebody said he looked like I looked like I would be adept at handling punks, and I,
And
and I
that was
took that as a
just took off from there.
jumping off spot. Yeah,
Feels like it ended as
I
a
well, what I thought was I can't. This old guy just isn't going to start coming on and decimating a bunch of punks. There has to be a story behind it. So yeah, right. So what I did was I came up with a story that I thought made sense, and it does. It does. It's a really good story, I think. It's about this guy who is an old fart who's vegetating, living with his daughter and her husband and their kids, and just sort of like ready to join God's waiting room and die. And what happens is something happens, which I don't. Should we talk about this story, or is it spoiler alert?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I feel like you give the synopsis, which, Bill Funk,
Yes.
Roger's character is yeah, he is sort of waiting to die, but he's with his family and they're in a crime-ridden city. And once they kind of are pushed to their limits,
Wackiness
Funk
ensues.
Yeah, exactly. And Funk decides we're going to take this into our own hands, and he grabs his grandchildren and he gets them involved. And it is endearing. It's gory. It's going to be violent. It's going to be funny. We're kind of going to hit all of those tiers, and so through the vehicle of Funk.
Well, I have to
I
say,
think it's
I'm a sucker for anti-hero stuff, man. I'm in already, so I can't wait to see this movie. What was everyone's initial reaction once they read the script? Can you guys tell me that?
Oh God.
I can definitely tell you mine.
killer.
Hey, do you go first, AJ?
Yeah. My initial reaction reading the script was, you can't shoot this stuff. This is not this isn't allowed. None of this. And I'm looking around, and I really thought that very seriously, and I talked to some people that I really trust, and I kind of exaggerated some of the scenes when retelling, and they were laughing. They were like, "This is hilarious. This is the bet you have to make." And I'm like, "This is." And then when I really started diving into the material and kind of as funk, it's really fun to go into the psyche of Bill Weeden. And I feel like as soon as yeah, Bill touched the script. Bill wrote a lot of stuff in here. Then you really know you're about to get to have some fucking fun. It's
In this screenplay. Some really crazy, bizarre, over
Oh
the top.
yeah. Yeah.
Here's the thing. You know what? I I presented the script to AJ and I said, "This is the script," and I was really expecting him to say, "But no, no, this is way too much." But what actually happened is AJ took it and said, "We're going to go farther with this."
Yep.
So
He leaned into it.
there was no choice really, and I think I came out of a world that's so bound by rules and this and that, and you got to do this to before you can do that. And that's just not where I came from. I came from like Ren and Stimpy and shit like that. So it was when I really let go of the rules, I was like, no, we should actually take this farther. And Bill's like, oh, great, yeah. And then we just,
but I was surprised. I was
went
surprised
farther
because
down
I
the
thought,
rabbit hole.
yeah, I mean, he went way farther down the rabbit hole. Some of the stuff that AJ suggested was like really weird, even by my standards, but I loved it. I knew that we were on the same page. And of course, Bryan was incredibly supportive from the beginning that he, and then Jazz came on and they were both so supportive too. So I guess we're all on the same page that this movie is going to be very weird and crazy. And I love it.
Well, I mean, you have a collective of incredible people already, and I've noticed that you've been putting together a stellar cast as well. I mean,
Yeah.
people from Lisa Gay to like all the I just every day I see new people at. I mean, it's just incredible. I can't wait to see how it all works out. But can you guys tell me a little bit about your characters in the movie? I mean, you've told us, Bill, about Funk, but well, can you tell me about any of the other characters that we can look forward to and like, well, what it's going to be like? Without kind of
So
giving it away.
yeah, I mean, there's what we're really excited about is the punks. So there's the punks are going to be the main criminals that have kind of really gotten a stronghold over this city. And the way I look at it is it's probably due to some sort of insane corruption or redlining, which is just the usual, just everybody confined to one peninsula of town that really there's no escape from. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. So the punks, we got Michael J. Epstein, which he just naturally lives in a mohawk. And I just couldn't pass up on him being a punk. He is a punk. Like Michael is one of the most punk people that I've ever met in my life. And dating back to like the late 80s, he's been, like causing a ruckus, making disruption, and he's hilarious. He really gets it and he goes for it. So we got him as one of our punks. We got Zach Amico, who he's from Gas Digital, do a stand-up comic from New York. I think he's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's a great dude. I've met him before.
Oh, so, yeah, dude. I mean, Zach is
Super rad.
so funny.
Super rad.
Oh yeah.
Super rad guy, and he's just out there. So everything I've seen, it's like, he's stapling money to himself. He's doing
Yep.
crazy shit, and nothing's off limits for Zach Amico, which we needed somebody like that for this film because it goes pretty far. It's there's really no rules in this movie. So our punks are like nasty feral dogs. And we got Billy Coyne, who's going to double as our special effects artist. He came from the Tom Savini school. He is like a legit special effects guy. So our gore, don't be squeamish because it's probably going to be pretty good. These punks, they're mean, they're ready to go, they're big, nasty dudes. And I'm pretty excited to have Bill thrown down with them. It's a wild contrast.
Bill Jones. He's the leader of the punks.
We got Neil Jones. Neil Jones from Without Your Head is going to be in the movie as well. There's a lot of people, but those are our main punks, and they're ready to go. They're so excited. The stuff, the ideas they send me all the time. It's just every time I think we've gone too far, everybody jumps on board and grabs on harder. So that's what we're in store for.
That kind of transitions well into my next question for you folks. I actually wanted to ask you all, what initially drew you to the project, and what can you name me something that you find most exciting about it that actually drew you in? I mean,
There
from
are,
all the stuff I heard already, I mean, I think I got great examples. Is there anything else?
First off, I will say Bill. Bill is very exciting. He keeps us on our toes every day for sure. I originally got casted working with him in Indiana, with Bryan actually, and he casted me as he's like, you know what? I think you'd be great for this movie that I'm doing soon. And then all of a sudden I ended up in production as well. So yeah, Bill is what got me excited about this project more than anything. And the story is just great. It's a lot of fun. The script is great. Everyone I'm working with is great. So
yeah, Bill's been the number one driver of making Our Man Funk. Bill's been really working hard to get everybody together for, I want to say like 2 years. Does that sound right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because we were writing this thing a couple of years ago. Yeah, the first draft of it. Uh, and yeah. The other guys were not as proactive as I was. I was always proactive because I'm an actor, and this is a great part, and I wanted to play it. So I pushed and pushed and pushed because I think it'll be a great movie, and I want to play the role. So I when things kind of like went, the ripple effect was going away. I decided I had to jump in and be proactive, and I talked with AJ. I guess I called you, AJ, and AJ was going to be the cinema the DP, and then he said, "You know what? I like to direct this movie." And I said, "Whoa, I would like to have you direct it." And then he has become the force behind the production, and that's fine with me. Because now that it's on its feet and I'd rather just be an actor for hire and have somebody else be the boss. Because I always think of the director as the boss anyway. I'm an actor in this situation. I was also the writer, and I'm also the lead actor. But in terms of, I just want the thing to happen, and I'm the kind of guy that could, like, I have to say every day, what can I do to not fuck this thing up?
Well, let me ask you guys. I mean, what challenges, if any, have you faced so far during pre-production, and what did you do to overcome them? Have you guys had any sort of major stumbling blocks yet?
Bill farted in my car. Something fucking awful. When I was taking, yeah, we rolled the window down.
Bryan, how did you overcome that? Was it just a window roll, or
Rolled the window down.
you had to wave a magazine out the window, or how did?
And stuff it down with Brown. Yeah.
I mean, you could have sat on your lap and did it. It could always be worse.
It's funny. It's funny because what is not a problem?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
the entire, from start to finish, every movie I've been on has been one problem after another, solving it. One problem, solving it. Another problem, two problems at a time, solving it. And then some of these problems, they just can't be solved, and they live in the film. And sometimes that's kind of the magic of the whole thing. Sometimes it creates a really happy accident. So, oh, this problem happened, and now we lost this person, but holy shit, so and so stepped in, and it's just been crazy. So I would say every problem that we've had, we've kind of overcome it
Yeah.
with some sort of solution that has either fixed the problem or made it better than it originally was. And it's just nonstop, money. We're always going to run into money. Like I could always every
The
single thing,
first
I'm
thing
like,
your
I could
daughter
always do this
problems,
bigger.
money.
Yeah, how much
Always
how
gonna
much
be
money do you
money.
need to do this scene? I'm like, what kind of question is that? How much do you got? Like, I
Right?
could
How much you got?
we could really blow up this building if we wanted to, and we could or we could do this really small. But the thing is as long as we're fun, we're always trying to keep everything fun, and I got a DP, I got a really good DP. He's a Boston guy, grew up in Revere, he lives in LA now. And he's stoked. He's all in. He's a horror guy. He does special effects himself. So I've got him working with our special effects guy. We've got everything kind of plates spinning in all departments right now, and it's really like peak time for production. We're kind of we're backed up against the wall right now, just fighting for our lives. But this is what I consider like the dirtiest part of production. When we get on set, that's when we'll start having fun.
Well, just hearing you talk about production, it made me want to ask you. I mean, do you have a time frame? Like once you actually start filming in April, like do you have a time frame or like a certain, a deadline that you have to be done by? Like how long do you think production will take? I mean, obviously you said, problems arise, but like, I mean, is there a certain, you only have like X amount of days, or I mean, do you have an unlimited amount of time? I don't really know how that works.
10 days.
Yeah,
10 days to shoot the
we
whole
have
thing.
yeah, we're gonna shoot most of it in about 10 days. And
Yeah.
so that's gonna be our principal production. And it sounds scary to some people, but I think some people go into movies and they don't really know what they're shooting. They go in with kind of a loose idea. And there's not really anything loose that we're doing about this. We know exactly what we're shooting. And we don't need to overshoot it. We don't need to try things out. We know what we want. We know how the movie goes. We're going to go in and get it, and then get out. And then even going into post-production, I think a lot of people's plan is, well, let's figure out what we have. Let's figure out what we have and what we can make. We don't need to do that because we know what we have. We
Yep.
know what we're going to get and we know what we're making. So once we go into post-production, it should just be ABC, line it up, get it out to the next departments, and then let's go screen the thing. There's no point in sitting on it for years.
That actually leads me to my next question too. Whenever you start to shoot, is there a process that you use to like, for actors to develop chemistry between each other when shooting starts, or is that something that just kind of comes naturally, or just comes like, without any attempt? I mean, is there like, what if you pair people up and it feels like they don't have good chemistry together? How do you fix that? Or do you even think that'll even be a problem?
No, no, you run into problems like that, but like how to fix that? Like if you rescued two dogs that fight each other, how do you fix that? It's like you don't just take one back to the pound. Like you gotta figure out things. You put a dog gate in between them and stick their food bowls on either side of it.
Yeah. But
I feel like there's
also we have our first table read with our cast Sunday. So that's like one thing that's great. It's kind of like a little team building. Everybody gets to kind of like meet each other unofficially. I think that kind of really helps because I assume that we will do, a few more before we all actually meet in person. So that's one thing that
I'm
kind of,
gonna take off now.
what was that? Bill,
Was
where are
this
you going?
Wait, does he know? Does he
Bill,
know this is a full podcast?
Bill,
He said I'm going to take a break.
Bill, Bill.
Okay.
Well,
I'm
okay.
gonna
Just leave this camera
I,
rolling.
I can always contact Carmen San Diego to try to find Bill.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah. Like, do we
he,
need to
do,
do a
he,
welfare check? I'm
he
kidding.
doesn't move very fast.
I,
Well,
actually, I actually, to be honest with you, I only have a couple more for you guys anyway, but like they're
Nice.
kind of lengthy, so
okay.
I'm just gonna get to them.
I can call him if you
No,
did.
no, no, it's fine. That's actually pretty funny. I'd rather just leave it in. But in all honesty, let me ask you, do you hope the audience will take away from this film, and what kind of an impact do you think it'll leave on an audience?
I hope they have a good time. There's something in Our Man Funk for everyone. AJ, sorry.
When I first got on, I told someone, I said, I'm making a feature this spring, and I want to make you laugh, I want to make you cry, and I want to make you throw up. And he said, "You promise?
You promise?
You
That
promise?"
I'm in already. That sounds exactly what I'm into. So,
Oh yeah.
I know if we have a couple walkouts, that the inverse of that is we have a couple people that just anchor themselves to the film, and I just, I've always liked very out there things. The more out there it was, as soon as I watched it, I'm like, this is for me, my people. And I think it's just important to kind of represent that. So we're creating our own universe. There's nothing that's going to be normal. That I think that's the thing, is we're going to be as far away from normal as possible.
nice.
That's the goal.
Well, actually, I actually just wanted to talk to you very briefly. I know you're doing a fundraiser to come up with certain things, and there's different tiers and different things. Can you tell my audience a little bit about those and how they could support the film and where you could go and actually find that and contribute? Because that's a very important thing. It's a very important thing nowadays, and I love to see independent film thrive and flourish. And I love that we live in this age where you could do that. And I seen you guys have a lot of different really interesting and cool perks if you support the film. Can you tell them about that?
Yeah, and I mean we're not only indie, we're like practically anti-studio at this point. Bill,
Oh, welcome back, Bill.
It's Bill.
Bill, it's funk. Hey, everybody,
Oh,
it's
my
funk.
God, it's
Whoa!
Who the fuck is this pussy with the blue?
I got a special.
No, funk. This is our host, Balls from Ellwood.
What? Who?
Yes, we're on the podcast, Balls from Ellwood.
Jazz, who the fuck is this guy?
That's what everybody says. That's the problem.
God damn it, Funk.
Balls, now that you have Funk, the hero of Our Man Funk, is there anything specifically you'd want to ask him?
Yes. How would you deal with vigilantism and punks or man funk? Like, how would you do that? Tell me what you would do to somebody committing a crime if you actually encountered it right now. Give us a little taste.
Hmm, I like to think on my feet. It's all spontaneous. It happens just organically. You know what I'm saying? I don't think about it in advance. It's just like if I want to shoot him in the head, I'll do that. If I want to get it, bash his head against the toilet bowl, I'll do that. If I want to make him eat shit, I'll do that. Look, the whole thing, just off the cuff. That's it, baby.
Is there an act of violence that you deem just too violent to commit?
No.
Does being a vigilante attract the females? Are you a chick magnet?
I would hope so, but I don't know. I'm really a family man at heart. I like to use my family as killers. I'd like to turn my grandkids into cold-blooded maniacs. What can I tell you? That's what it's about. That's what life is about.
So you would say it's nature over nurture.
I would say, yeah, basically, it's a combination. Nurture has very little to do with it. Yeah, it's nature.
Are you excited that you're finally getting your just due represented in a film?
My what?
Are you excited you're getting your just due being represented in a film like this?
Oh, I thought you said, am I excited about getting my junk represented in
I haven't seen the film yet. I don't know if your junk's in it or not.
That's the alternative working title, is Our Man Junk.
Is there
And
going to be a
so
porn parody where, in fact, your junk is in fact in play?
Uh,
Our Man
it,
Funk Triple X.
my theory, what's your name again?
Balls.
Balls. Okay. My theory, balls, is that I don't want to be in any movie where my junk is not featured. You know,
Is that in your contract that your junk has to be featured?
my trade.
unfortunately,
Does it have a good side? Because I mean, I'm a pretty ugly dude, but I have to say, I think this is probably my good side. Does your junk have a good side?
It's all good. It's all good.
can confirm.
Yeah.
Maybe we should add those as one of the perks to Indiegogo. Have your junk featured for
So
If I log on tomorrow and see a new perk, I'm gonna. I want credit for that.
So unfortunately, Indiegogo has rules against perks like that.
Oh
We,
man.
we've looked into the fine print, which is why we started the petition to start an OnlyFans for
OnlyFans. Oh
Funk.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
in.
and which there I guarantee because there's a lot of interest for it. And so we're like, okay, Bill, Funk, sex symbol, Prince, OnlyFans,
It
butt
all makes
cheeks.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it really was kind of all on board with us.
Where can I find? You mentioned the Indiegogo. Where can I find this? Where can people donate to it? Where can they find Funk's OnlyFans? I'd like to see that. I think.
So you can go to Indiegogo slash Our Man Funk, Our Man Funk the movie on Indiegogo. Any of those things will take you to it. Support us. We really are, like I said, we're anti-studio, so we're not taking any money from any big wigs to make this movie. We're making this grassroots film the way that it should be. We're making it as if we were the only ones watching it. But we know it's going to be enjoyable. We know it's going to be revenge comedy of the year. You can get perks like you can get a call from Bill Weeden, and he won't walk away and leave in the middle of it. Like you can get a prank call from Mark Torgel. We have Mark Torgel. We've got signed Blu-ray perks. There's all kinds of perks on there. Even if you can barely support, we've got a digital copy on there that's like $15.
I'm trying to save up because I actually want to try to do the. They still offer. There's you can have an audio cameo, I believe, and you can actually have a Zoom cameo.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I'm hoping to try to, I might have to go whore myself and raise some money to do that. I'd love to be a part
Yes.
of this film, but
Pixar didn't happen.
oh, there'll be pics, don't worry. But I want to ask if
Oh, also, can I throw in also another way you can find our Indiegogo? We do have a Facebook page, so it's on Our Man Funk, the movie.
awesome.
It's the only one on Facebook, so it's super easy to find, and you'll see our Indiegogo plastered all over that.
Well, I'm
as
definitely
well.
going to throw
So,
some links up. Before we close, I wanted to ask you guys: is there anybody that I mean, you already have a stellar cast. I mean, it's that
oh,
alone
we have
is just
such a stellar
amazing.
cast.
Is
Yeah.
there one person in particular that you would like to get that you haven't heard from yet, or what would be another dream person you'd like to add to this
Huh.
cast? If
Oh,
any.
that's one for AJ. I'm gonna like AJ or Bryan. I'm gonna swing that over to them because that's a good one. That's a really good question.
Man, our dream right now, because we really made all of our dreams. Brian and Jazz and Bill, they kind of brought on our dream cast. I mean, a lot of these people were gets for us, and we're just so not only are we stoked, but they're stoked. Like Mark Torgel is so excited to be a part of the project. Lisa Gay is really excited. I mean, it's been very cool. The only people that we really really couldn't get was Guar.
Oh man, no,
And
I can't believe
and
they wouldn't do it.
well,
Yeah.
we never even really were able to get in touch with them. We reached out in multiple ways, and I even reached out to someone that's like a mutual with them, and I just thought after a while, it's just not meant to be. But dream guest right now would be to get Guar in for half a day and get a little cameo with them, and we've got a perfect scene for it. But regardless.
Well, you heard that, folks. Anybody watching this, let's bombard them. Let's ask Guar. Let's beg Guar. Let's, offer a human sacrifice and
Yes.
let's make this happen, folks. But
And
I
and I
actually
think this movie will gross out Guar. That was our plan, was we were like, Guar might be a little too soft for us. And but we want to find out.
that should be the box tagline. The movie that is too hard for Guar.
Too hard for Bart. Yes.
Too gnar for Guar, dude.
Well, I just want to say, folks, I wish you all the best. I can't thank you all enough for dropping by, and I know I particularly am really looking forward to this film. everybody go support the Indiegogo. Keep up. Like I said, there's a Facebook page. I'm going to throw a bunch of links up so everybody can keep progress on this great, great film we're looking forward to. And thank you all so much. Peace and love. Thanks for dropping by. And I'll be looking forward to it, folks. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Hey,
having
thanks,
us.
Balls. Thank
Peace
you.
and love as well.
Love you all, guys. Thank you so much. And peace and love. Peace and love.
Bye.